through a Pilates Fusion class today. I'm so excited to just be with you on this Thursday and work our core, gain a little bit of. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back. This is Katie from the Allard Center here to bring you a Pilates workout today. Whether you're joining me right now at 9 a.m. or if you're watching later, thanks so much for carving some time out of your day to do this with me and to do something for yourself as well. I'm going to take just a moment here and let folks get logged on if they're joining us for the class. You may choose to have some water with you for today. You'll notice that I have my sneakers off. I'm going to recommend that for you as well. You don't need any equipment, but if you do have a mat, that can be helpful, especially if you're working on a hard surface. Other than that, like I said, you don't need any props or equipment. And this workout is for all levels. So as we go through our sequences today, I'll make sure to give you plenty of options for modifiers as well as progressions. I'll be back every week on Thursdays at 9 with this Pilates class, so I hope you continue to tune in. And starting next week on Fridays, you'll also be able to work out with me doing a cardio fusion class. That'll be at 9 o'clock as well. So again, thanks for being here and being tuned in, and I hope you enjoy the workout. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We're just going to begin with a nice gentle warm-up. So we'll begin with crossed legs. You can certainly keep your legs extended out in front of you if that feels better for your body. I just want you to relax down through your shoulders. Try to sit up nice and tall and just take some deep breaths here. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Let's do just a couple more deep breaths like that. All right, beginning to link some movement to our breath as you take an inhale. I want you to fan your arms all the way up, taking a really big stretch here, like you're waking up first thing in the morning. Exhale, release the arms all the way down. Good, feels good just to move. Inhale and lift. And exhale and release. Good, let's do that again. Take a nice deep breath in, lift. And exhale, release. Good. This time, inhaling, fanning the arms all the way up, moving into some side bends. As you exhale, I want you to release one hand to the mat. Stretch that other arm up and over. Try to create a nice curve through your body. Watch out for leaning. I want you to feel like you still have equal pressure between both sides of your bottom in this position. We're going to inhale and flow back through center, and then go ahead, exhale, move right into that other side. Good. Really open up that side body, press out through your ribs. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, flow to that first side. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Let's do one more pair here and exhale. Good. Inhale. You got this. And exhale. Good. Well, inhale and flow back through center, working into some twists. As you exhale, I want you to wind to one side. Let your hands release to your leg into the mat. And try to sit up nice and tall, push down into the mat through your bottom and reach up towards the ceiling through the top of your head. We'll inhale, unwinding, stretching fingers back up towards the sky. And then we're going to exhale and twist towards that opposite side. Again, I'm really trying to keep the lower half of my body anchored as I twist. So that twist is really happening through my waist, incorporating my vertebrae. Right, inhaling. And exhale. Good, inhale. And exhale. All right, awesome. Let's do one more pair like that. Really stretch up, lengthen. And then exhale, wind into that twist. See if you can push just a little further. Good, inhale. And then exhale, find that twist. Good, inhale, back to center. Just let those arms release on your exhale. We're gonna go ahead and stretch the legs out in front, all the way nice and long. Just take a moment and start to bicycle the legs out here. A little stretch through the hamstrings. Excellent. We're going to slide heels back in and towards the body. Hands are gently going to position behind the hips. I want you to lean back, keep your chest nice and open and your spine long. We're going to go ahead and drop those knees side to side like a windshield wiper. Again, just creating some circulation, some mobility before we jump into our strength work. All right, last couple here. Excellent. Drawing those knees back to center. Continue to push up through your chest. Draw the shoulders back. I want you to just briefly float those heels off of the ground. Try to keep your knees drawing together. And again, spine is long. We're not sagging back or arching excessively through that low back space. Just beginning to wake that core up here with a little boat pose. Good. Few more seconds here. Hold it, hold it. All right, excellent. Release the feet down. We're going to go ahead and drop both knees to that right side. I want you to open your legs enough so that you can connect the inside of that shin all the way to the floor. Back hand stays planted. We're going to lift up through that left arm. You can just try to stretch out, lengthen out through that side body. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears in this position. You can hold here with your hips on the ground, or if you want to deepen the stretch a little, you can lift that bottom hip right up and away. Really try to create that arch, that lift, push, stretch. A couple of nice deep breaths here. Excellent. Release hips back down to the mat. We're going to come right back to center here. Fingertips stay parked behind the hips. Chest is lifted and open. Shoulders are back. Let's go ahead and float those feet up so we're back in our boat pose. Good. Good. Great job, guys. All right. Again, we'll hold here just a little bit longer. Really starting to feel the core and the tops of the legs wake up. 5 seconds. All right, feet release to the floor. Let's go ahead and drop both knees to that left side. Again, make sure that you're separating legs enough so that you can get the inside of that right shin against the floor. We're going to go ahead, stretch up and back. Good, open that side body. Breathe into your rib cage. Good, again, keep it here with your hip on the floor, or if you'd like to take this just a little deeper, go ahead and lift the hips up, reach up and back, stretch. All right, gently release down. Go ahead and sit back at center. Extend your legs all the way forwards. Good. Toes are aiming up towards the ceiling. Think about stretching out through your heels just to give a little extra lengthen, a little stretch through those hamstrings. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Spine is long and tall. Go ahead, exhale, round it forwards. Reach down towards your shins, your ankles. Maybe you can reach all the way to your toes. And I don't want you to be in pain, certainly, here, or feel like you're straining. All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and sit back up nice and tall. We're going to transition here into a box or table position. So I want you to flip over and just find yourself on all fours. Hands are underneath your shoulders, spread nice and wide, and your knees are stacked beneath your hips. So remember, as we start rolling through our sequence here, I'm going to begin with a modified or base version of each exercise, and we're going to layer some progressions on. It's totally up to you if you take the progressions. It's more important to be able to execute the moves with really good form and in a slow and controlled way. So keep that in mind as we're going. So we're going to start out bracing through that upper body. Push away from the ground. And try to make sure that your shoulders are still pulling down out of your ears. We're lifting up through our centers just enough to keep the back nice and flat. I want you to go ahead and extend your right leg back behind you. Toes are gently touching the floor. Think about keeping your pelvis really level as we work through this set. Take a nice deep breath in as you exhale. I want you to go ahead and just lift that leg away from the ground. Really squeeze through that glute. Continue to lift up through your belly so that you don't develop an arch in your back in this position. Inhale, toes gently touch the ground. And then exhale, lift and lengthen back. Inhale, gentle touch. Exhale, lift and lengthen. Good, really reach back through those toes. Awesome, let's do 2 more like this, going at this nice, slow, controlled pace. Excellent, first progression here. I'm gonna take a big hand step forwards on either side, just to move into a kneeling plank. Inhale, lower the toes. Exhale, lift and reach. So again, make sure you still get that nice neutral position through your spine, that you're not twisting through your hips as you lift and lower that leg. Good, 3 more in this position, and then we've got 1 more progression, 2, that we'll work through. Last one like this. Again, stay here if this works best for your body. Plant those toes just a little more heavily so that you can pop that left knee up and off of the ground, coming into our full plank. We're gonna go ahead and lift on that exhale. Inhale, toes gently connect. Exhale, lift. Good, you've got this. Inhale, toes connect. Just 4 to go here. 3, 2, and 1 more. All right, release the toes, bring the knees all the way down, come back into a nice child's pose stretch here. Woo! Getting warm already. All right, just let those wrists catch a little bit of recovery here. All right, doing a great job. We're gonna come back up into our starter position, that tabletop or box, and we're gonna move to the other side. All right, so left leg is gonna begin extending back. You can try to square off, level out that pelvis, and lift up through your center to keep that low back space flat. Take a nice deep breath in as you exhale. Lift and lengthen back through those toes. And then inhale, release with control. Again, really slow here. Good. Faster is definitely not always better when we're trying to work on building our strength. Awesome, great job. Last 2 in this position, and then we'll go ahead and move into that first progression. So if you want to take that progression, go ahead, hand step forwards, right into your kneeling plank. We'll continue to lift and lower from here. Good. Try to press your hips down towards the mat without sagging into your low back space. 4, 3, 2, and last one like this. Again, coming into that final progression, toes plant a little more heavily so we can pop that other knee up, and then we're flowing right back into those lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, great job. Release the knees down, sit back, child's pose. Quick stretch, and a little release for the wrists. All right, awesome. We're gonna move into a side lying position here. So pick a side. It doesn't matter whether you start on right or left, just do the other side next time. So I'm beginning down on my right side, working my left side. Side lying position, we want that bottom arm extended all the way out underneath the side of the head. Just let your head rest right against that upper arm. We're gonna extend both legs out, pointing through the toes. We wanna try to be as 2-dimensional from front to back as possible here. So think about drawing your belly in and really trying to squeeze your glutes to push your hips forward. So you're one long line from your fingers all the way through your toes. Top hand is gonna park on the floor in front of the chest or rib cage so that we don't feel so tippy back to front. I want you to start out just again, reaching through the toes, taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to peel both legs away from the mat. Work with your range of motion. We're gonna inhale and lower with control. And then we'll exhale, lift, and keep that length. So you'll notice that I'm trying to keep about a hip's width gap between my two legs as they are lowering and lifting. I want you to do the same. Good, and again, use that breath. Exhale on that lift. Inhale nice and slow. Outside of that bottom shin is just barely touching the mat. So we've got engagement through those muscles along the side of the body the whole time we're going through this set. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, awesome, and last one. Excellent. All right, starting again with our modified or base version for this next exercise. My bottom leg is going to come all the way down to the mat. I'm going to inhale and extend through those top toes. As I exhale, I'm going to push the outside of that top ankle right up towards the ceiling. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not rolling forwards or rolling backwards as I'm lifting and lowering. Exhale, lift. Great job, and inhale, lower. I still want you to maintain a gap between your top leg and your bottom leg. We're going to do a couple more like this, and then I'll show you the progression. All right, the progression here. I'm just going to barely lift that bottom leg away from the mat. So both legs are suspended here. Top leg is still lifting and lowering. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, great job. Go ahead, relax both legs for a moment here. All right, again, starting with our modified version, I'm going to take my top leg and I'm just going to bend my knee and slide my shin down onto the floor in front of me. It's okay if your hips come out of alignment just a little bit to get into that position. So bottom leg, I'm going to extend out through my heel. That leg is nice and long. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to peel that bottom leg away from the ground. Try to push the inside of your ankle right up towards the ceiling. Again, same controlled speed here. Good, lifting and lowering. All right, excellent. A couple more, just like this. Good, moving into our progression. Top leg hovers. I'm going to exhale and try to draw that bottom leg towards the top leg. Good, exhale and inhale. Again, keep that top leg on the floor if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, you got this last one. Thank goodness, lift. Good, and release with control. Both legs come down. Great job. All right, we're gonna go ahead and roll back to center here, and we're gonna come back to that progression with leg raises. So I want you to go ahead and start in your tabletop or box. Anytime we change position, always a good idea just to check in and make sure that you still have that neutral spine position. Lifting up through your navel, tailbone is aiming straight back behind you. Shoulders are pulling down out of the ears. Elbows are unlocked so that we can brace that upper body without any pain. So I'm going to go ahead. This time I'll start with my left leg just to do something different. So extending back, take a nice deep breath in. We're going to exhale, lift and lengthen. Good. 3 more like this. And then we're going to layer in those progressions. 1 more. Good. Take that kneeling plank if you like. Same movement, lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, last one, like this. All right, last variation, toes plant, other knee comes up, hold in that solid steady plank, lift and lower, lift and lower. You're almost there. 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, toes down, knees down, child's pose. All right, we just got one more of those. We're gonna finish that plank culminating sequence on the other side. And then we're gonna do that side lying series on the opposite side of the body as well. Good. So let's go ahead and come back into our tabletop or box. And we'll move on to that right leg or whichever side you didn't just do. Fingers spread nice and wide, pull those shoulders down, lift up through that navel, extend back, take a deep breath in, exhale, lift. Good, reach back through those toes. Again, worry less about bringing the leg up really high and think about stretching back, making it as long as you can. 4 to go in this variation. 3, 2, last one. All right, moving into that kneeling plank if you'd like. Lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one before we layer in that final progression. Again, plant your toes a little more heavily so you can pop that opposite knee up if you'd like. Lift and lower. 5, almost there. 4, 3, 2, last one. Uncle, woo! All right, toes down, knees down, sit back, child's pose. All right, stretch it out. Take some deep breaths. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and lift and roll onto the opposite side of the body from where we were last time with that side lying series. So for me, I'm on my left side, working with my right side. Bottom arm extends out nice and long. Toes reach. Again, draw your navel in here, squeeze the muscles in your bottom so that you're that really long, straight line, fingers to toes. Top hand parks down on the floor. We'll start with that side lying double leg lift. Create that gap between the two legs as you breathe in, and then exhale. Lift with control. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift with control. Great job. Good. It's not a huge range of motion. So again, try to go a little slower than you feel like you might want to here. The longer we can keep those muscles under tension, the more benefit we're going to get, the more strength we're going to build. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, excellent. Bottom leg releases all the way to the ground. We're going to keep that top leg engaged, pointing through the toes. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lift that top leg. Again, make sure you're not rolling forwards or rolling back. You're in between two pieces of glass. That leg is just moving straight up and down. And again, taking that progression here if you'd like. Bottom leg gently peels away from the ground. Good, finding that hover position. Whew, that really adds intensity. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, stay with me, you're so close, 2, and 1 more. All right, soften the legs here for a moment. We'll change position again here. We're going to take that top leg, bend your knee, and just drape that top leg down on the floor. Again, it's okay if your top hip rolls forwards a little bit. It's just an unintended consequence here. We can still maintain good form. Don't worry about it. So bottom leg extends, deep breath in. Exhale, push up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower with control. You know where we're going with that progression with that top leg. So if you want to move into that position before me, you're welcome to do that. We've got 3, 2, and last one before we layer on that progression. Extending out that top leg, hover, make it your carrot for that bottom leg, reach, lower, exhale, reach, 7, 6, 5, 4, good, keep it steady, you got this, 3, 2, and last one. Good, great job. Whew, release both legs down. Go ahead and roll it onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest here. And just give yourself a nice little gentle rock from side to side. Good, nice deep breaths in through your nose. And out through your mouth. All right, awesome. For our next sequence here, we're going to stay in this position on our backs. So place your feet down to start. And again, just take a moment to make sure that you've got neutral spine here down on the mat. Head and shoulders are relaxed. We're gently tucking the chin towards the collarbone so that the back of our necks can stay nice and long. Shoulder blades are anchored firmly into the ground. And we're drawing our navels in just enough to lightly connect that low back space to the mat. I want you to really use that connection, low back to mat, as your guide as we're flowing through this next part of the sequence. If at any point you start to arch or lift, try to dial back through the modifications that I'm gonna give you. So we're going to press arms down into the ground next to the sides of the body. I want you to begin in the invisible box position. So knees are stacked over your hips and shins are parallel to the floor. Again, even just lifting up here, make sure you're keeping that engagement through your belly space so that low back is still touching the mat. So I want you to go ahead and just gently rock onto that right hip. Really, really small range of motion here. I don't want you to do a full twist. I just want you to roll enough so that left hip is up off of the mat. Good. Just feel what that feels like, where you're engaging, and then go ahead and roll back to center so hips are nice and flush. Take a deep breath in, extend your toes as far out as you can without that low back lifting, and then exhale, knees draw back into alignment over the hips. So let's do that just a little more quickly this time. We're going to inhale and rock onto that right hip. Again, maintain neutral spine, go slow and with control. Exhale, hips are flush back at center. Inhale, extend through the toes. And then exhale, knees stack. We'll do that variation just a couple more times. So again, breathe in, rock out, hold. Shoulders are still evenly pressing down onto the mat. Exhale to center. Inhale, extend out. And then knees stack over hips. Last one like this, and then we're going to layer a progression on here. Good, draw back to center. Inhale. Good, and exhale. So here's our progression here. We're going to rock onto that right hip, and then we're going to go ahead and sweep the legs all the way through that extension. Rolling back to center, low back is engaged, knees stack back over the hips. So let's try that again. We're going to rock onto that right hip. Lots of control here. Extend the legs out. Good, flow back to center, and then pull the knees over the hips. We're gonna do 8 more. So out to the hip, good, extend, sweep to center, and knees over hips. 7, 6, 5. Easy way to modify this move is just by my range of motion. If I keep that sweep a little smaller, 4, I can moderate that intensity. 3, 2, nice job. Last one here. Rock onto that hip, and then go ahead, extend, sweep, and knees stack back over hips. Whew. All right, great job. Hold here. For our next exercise, you can keep legs in this invisible box position. You can modify by placing your feet flat on the floor, or if you're looking to progress, really keep that challenge level up, you can keep legs at a 45-degree angle. Fingers are going to position behind the head. Try to keep your elbows opening towards opposite walls so that your chest is always expanded. You have plenty of space to breathe. Make sure you're starting with that low back lightly connected to the mat. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to curl up and twist to one side. So taking basically that top half of a bicycle or crisscross crunch here. We're going to exhale, lift and twist towards that opposite side. Inhale, release back to the mat. Good. Exhale, lift and twist. So we're alternating sides here. Inhale, back to the mat. Exhale, lift and twist. Inhale, back to the mat. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Good. Try to lift up through your shoulders. 6, instead of pulling forwards through your elbows. 5, that'll help you to keep that chest open and expanded as you're working. 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. All right, excellent. Release all the way back to the mat. Feet come down if they're not there. Stretch your legs out all the way long. Arms reach up past the top of your head. Stretch towards those opposite walls. Lengthen everything out. Take some nice deep breaths into your belly just to stretch that space out too. Always a spoiler alert, right? When we're in a class, if we do something on one side of the body, we're going to come back and do it on the other side. So we're going to start back out in that invisible box position, and we're going to work on that little weight shift onto the hip with the leg extension on that left side. So I want you to go ahead, stack your knees back over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. The arms are pressing down for support, chin tucks forwards. Again, let's just take that little weight shift out to the side first. We'll go nice and slow. So rock onto that left hip, just barely lifting that right hip. Again, don't let your legs release all the way down to the floor. And then we'll go ahead and draw the knees back to center, stacking right over the hips. Take a deep breath in, push forwards through your toes. Remember, you only have to straighten and reach through those legs as much as you can without your low back lifting. And then exhale, knees stack back over hips. So with our breath, we'll go ahead and inhale, rock to the side. Exhale, hips are flush back in center. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, knees stack over hips. We'll do a couple more with this variation at this pace. So rock. Good, back to center. Extend out. And knees stack over hips. Good, let's do that again. Out to the side. Again, small controlled movement. Roll back to center. And extend out. All right, wonderful. Let's go ahead and take it into that full sweep. So we're rocking onto that left hip. And then we're gonna go ahead and extend the legs out. Good, sweeping back to center, low back stays connected. Knees pull in over hips. Whew. All right, rock out to the side, you got this. Go ahead, sweep out. Notice how I'm just pausing for a moment when I come out to the side. So I want you to try to do that with me too. So rock, again, pause here for just a moment. And then we're extending out, sweep. And knees back over hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good, use that breath, nice deep breaths here. 3, 2, and last one. All right, excellent. Whew. Coming back into our crisscross crunch variation here. So again, legs can stay in this invisible box position, feet can come back down to the mat, or you can extend the legs out to that 45-degree angle, which is going to be our most challenging variation. Make sure that low back is still lightly connected here. Fingertips position behind the head for support. Open those elbows towards opposite walls. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, curl up and lift. Try to peel those shoulder blades away from the floor. So we're curling up on the exhales. Then we're releasing back with control on the inhales. 11, still going at that same slow and controlled pace. 10, 9, 8, whew, really feeling these the second time around. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, release it back to center. Feet come all the way down on the mat. If they're not there, extend your legs out nice and long. Arms reach past the top of the head. Deep breaths into your belly. All right, great job, guys. We're gonna go ahead and roll ourselves over here so we're facing back towards the mat again. All right, just want you to push back up through that table and come back into a child's pose here. Choose whatever variation feels good for your body. For this pose, I'm gonna go ahead and open my knees nice and wide, push my big toes together, and sit back into a wide child's pose. Let your face, chest, and belly release down towards the mat as you stretch the arms out nice and long in front of you. All right, you guys are doing a great job. We've got just one more little work sequence we're gonna flow through here, and then we'll finish out with a little flexibility. So coming back to a move or a sequence that we've already met today with a slight twist. So when you're ready, I want you to push back up and out of that child's pose and just come right into your tabletop or box position. So we're gonna come back to that leg raise series where we progressed into our kneeling plank and our full plank, but this time we're gonna add a little bit of challenge by switching legs, alternating sides. And so I really want you to focus on trying to minimize the shift. If you're really feeling your hips, your weight shift from side to side as you change legs, I want you to try to minimize that and be as stable as possible. So we're gonna start out fingers spread nice and wide. Shoulders dropping down and away from the ears. Again, elbows are unlocked so we can use that upper body to brace ourselves here. Lift your belly up and away from the mat. We're going to go ahead and just start out taking an inhale. I want you to extend that right leg back nice and long, reach through your toes, and then exhale, bring that leg all the way back in so the knee is under the hip. Left leg comes out as we breathe in, extend. Good, reach. And then exhale, lower. Good, inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, lower, switching sides here. Four, three, two, and one. Good, taking that progression to kneeling plank position. If you'd like, push those hips down towards the ground. Continue to lift up through your navel. Inhale, extend back. Good, exhale, release. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, release. Again, try to really control that feeling of shifting from side to side. I know it gets tough. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, last one before that last progression. So again, take just a brief pause here if you want to move from your full plank position. Knees come up, hips stay low, core is fully engaged. Nice deep breath in, reach back through those right toes. Good, release on that exhale. Working with our breath helps to keep us at a nice slow, steady pace here, right? 6, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, toes down, knees down. Keep knees together or open them out wide. One more child's pose here. Sit back, release those wrists. All right, lifting up and away from the mat here. I want you to go ahead and come back to your seated position. Last few minutes, we're going to close it out here. Like I said, you guys are doing a great job at home. I certainly miss seeing you here at the Y, but I'm glad that we can be together this way, if nothing else. So coming back to center, stretch out those legs nice and long. Again, toes reach up towards the ceiling. We're pressing forwards through those heels to open the hamstrings. Maybe after doing all of that work, we feel a little more open. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, I want you to go ahead and roll forwards. Hands slide down the shins towards the ankles. Maybe you can reach the toes. Again, this shouldn't be painful or feel like you're straining. It should just feel like a nice deep stretch. Good. Inhale, unroll back to that tall seated position. Exhale, shoulders drop. We're going to go ahead and take that right leg. I want you to cross it over the left leg. Sole of the right foot plants on the floor outside of that left leg. Take a deep breath in, lift up through those left fingers, sit up really tall. As you exhale, I want you to twist towards that right side. Just go ahead and hook that left elbow right against the outside of the right knee. Use your back hand. If you connect it to the floor, I want you to just try to push up and out of that low back. So you're sitting up really tall in this twist position so that you can incorporate all of your vertebrae into this twist. Good. We'll take just one more breath in this position. Excellent. As you unwind here, I want you to go ahead and park both sets of fingertips behind your hips, uncross the legs, lean back, open your chest, roll those shoulders back, and then go ahead, kick your feet up off of the floor. Second to last time here in our boat pose. So a little added challenge here at the end. If you really want to work that core a little more, lift your fingers up. Good. Think about pushing your shins towards the ceiling. Lift your chest towards the ceiling. That's going to keep you nice and elongated in this boat position. Lifting upwards. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, sitting forwards, legs extend. We're going to switch sides for that twist. Left leg crosses over right, sole of the foot presses right down into the floor. Take that deep breath in, reach up through your right fingers. Exhale, twist towards that left side, hook that elbow right against the outside of the knee. Use those back fingers to push up, find your height. All right, last breath in this position. All right, great job. We're going to go ahead and unwind. Final boat, I promise. Let's go ahead and position fingertips behind the hips. We'll start there. Lift up through your chest. Go ahead and rock back. Feet kick up off of the floor. Again, if you want to take your hands away from the floor as well, you can here. Good. Final work move, final pose of the day. Stay with me if you can. About 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Release those heels all the way to the floor. Stretch your legs out nice and long. Bicycle your heels. Take any final stretches or movements that you would like to as part of your Pilates Fusion practice today. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, it was really a pleasure to do this with you this morning. Thanks for joining me, whatever time you're watching. I look forward to seeing you again next week. So stay tuned. Keep checking back on our Allard Center Facebook page because we're adding more fun virtual content for you guys every day. Thanks again, and see you again soon.